Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Welcome, everyone, to the budget workshop. I'm still on a different agenda here. To city council agenda, city council meeting for April 27th. If we could have a roll call, Madam Clerk, to establish quorum.
Mr. McClung?
I'm here.
Mr. Meyer is absent with notice. Ms. Moyer?
Here.
Mr. Appenzino?
Here.
Mr. Holyfield?
Here.
Ms. Greening? Here.
All right, so if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I'd like to add to our agenda a report by the hospital director. She came to us before, got her 3 minutes, and it was shut off and asked to sit down. So I'd like her to actually come up and present what's going on at the hospital. I think everybody's really interested. And the second part, I'd like to remove the NB1 ordinance to place permanent entertainment district on November ballot. I'd like to take that off the agenda. I have been approached by several business members in town and asked that they are informed they are meeting. They're trying to come up with a more comprehensive plan to present to us to be put on the ballot. So they've asked us to just give them a little bit more time.
Second.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? Any other items on the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of the agenda as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. All right, get a motion to approve the minutes for April 13th.
I move we approve the minutes for the Monday, April 13, 2026 meeting. And would also like to say thank you for the new format. I like the format how it's being put into. It's very clear and easy to read. Thank you.
Good.
You get a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Holyfield made the motion, Mr. Appenzino seconded to approve the minutes for April 13th. Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, as far as commission and reports and terms, we got the Planning Commission with a vacancy that if anybody out there wants to be on the Planning Commission and to serve the city, please let me know. We got a vacancy there. Also have a vacancy on the CAPC. I'm not sure. It looks like we may have two that are coming up. But anyway, I don't know if the CAPC has anybody in mind yet.
We have a couple of applications in, yes.
Okay. And the hospital has a vacancy too. So if you're interested, please let me know about being on the hospital commission. And then we have a renewal for Ken Trimble for the Parks Commission.
Motion to approve, Mr. Trimble.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of Ken Trimble being renewed for the Parks Commission, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that brings us up to public comments. Please limit your time to 3 minutes for each citizen and go from there. Please try not to repeat yourselves. Please state your name and where you live.
Yep, Devin Henderson with the Eureka Springs Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I wanted to take a moment to provide an update on where things stand from the Chamber's perspective regarding the proposed district. As many of you know, the Chamber became involved after seeing interest from members of the community in creating a district, as well as hearing the feedback and concerns expressed by Council. Our goal was to bring people together in a more collaborative way, and that's what we've been working to do. At the end of the day, this is about supporting a healthy, vibrant downtown while protecting the character and quality of life that make Eureka Springs what it is. Since the workshop, the proposal has been referred to our Economic Development Committee's Tourism Subcommittee. That group is currently working within a broader downtown revitalization effort and is actively bringing additional voices to the table. We're talking to businesses, stakeholders, and community members to further refine what this could look like for Eureka Springs. We believe that taking the time to do this thoughtfully is important. Getting it right with strong input, clear structure, and community understanding is more valuable than moving quickly. And just to be clear, the intent behind this concept has always been about creating structure, clarity, and accountability around activity that already exists. We appreciate the council's willingness to engage in this process, and we look forward to continuing to work collaboratively as this evolves. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Heather Huber. I live on Linwood Avenue. I'm the proprietor of Crystal Waters downtown. And I do have a quick question. How do we know what the obligations of the Planning Commission or the hospital, all those things that have availability? Is there a space that I can see what kind of expectations there are? Set that aside. Here's what I'm here to say. Last time I spoke before you, it was as a private citizen. I shared my concerns about feeling unsafe as a woman around street drinking. I shared my thoughts as someone who moved to the region in the 1980s that my words as a long-term resident might hold a little bit more gravity and a little bit more weight. I shared my belief that a permanent downtown entertainment district is not in the best interest of our community. However, today I speak before you as a business person and as a downtown merchant. I am against implementing a permanent downtown entertainment district along Spring Street in front of my shop. My shop is full of glass, mirror, porcelain, breakable crystals, heavy stones, sustainable fabric, fragile things. I don't currently allow drinking or food of anything, of any type, in my space. People leave their coffees on the windowsill and then pick them back up on their way out. Do we want unattended beers outside? No, we don't, because kids. I won't allow alcohol in my shop. I don't want my employees who are in recovery to be confronted daily with drinks. An occasional festival weekend that they can emotionally prepare for is one thing. Daily exposure in her workplace is too much to ask. She leads a sober life, and as her boss, I want to be an advocate for that in any way, in every way possible. Exposure to alcohol in her workplace on a daily basis, it's too much to ask. I have young employees. They're uncomfortable telling their elders no. I don't want to put them in that situation repeatedly, daily, telling people of, I don't know, older people, adults, 3 or 4 coming in. I'm sorry, you can't bring your drinks inside. Hi, excuse me, alcohol's not allowed in here. Sirs, you'll have to go leave your drink outside. Folks, my boss doesn't want food or drink in the shop. Ladies, looks like you're having fun, but no drinks inside. Every micro confrontation that they will have is a drain. It creates fatigue, it creates exhaustion, and there will be confrontation because people do not like to hear the word no. They don't. And the customers will reply, I won't spill it. No one expects to spill their drink. Customers will reply, your boss isn't here, she'll never know. Yes, I will. Customers will say, well, fine, we just won't shop here then. And that's the rub. That's where it is. Visitors not becoming customers because they're offended at being told no. And the retail stores aren't the only no. Bars are a hard no. Restaurants with liquor license are a hard no. Tattoo establishments are a no. The state highway is a no. Those people cannot allow public drinking in their spaces either. So I'm finding very little yes in this situation. I believe it is ill-conceived and ill-suited to our city. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Linda McBride, 264 Spring Street. I came to speak about the entertainment district. It's kind of changed because y'all don't have it tonight, but I'm still going to say what I wanted to say. City council members generally cannot vote on agenda items when they have a direct or indirect financial interest. Rules typically require those members to recuse themselves from discussions and voting on matters that personally benefit them financially. Conflict of interest, participating in discussions that results in personal financial gain, violates ethical standards. Disclosure and recusal. Members must declare a conflict of interest, abstain from voting, and usually leave the room during the discussion. The whole entertainment district is the brainchild of the guy from the Spring on Main and probably the Chamber of Commerce. The district they designed has been criticized because it excludes so many businesses. I had a list. I'm not sure which ones have changed in that, so I'm not going to say it. If it makes it to the ballot, there's absolutely nothing entertaining about it. It is solely legalized to open containers for a tiny section of town that will benefit just a handful of businesses, to the exclusion of every business that serves adult beverages. You've got a good thing going. When you give someone a permit, you've got blues coming up, you give them a permit you had this time, why mess up what you have? If you have it and it's in a certain section, and then someone comes up and they want their permit, do they overlap? Y'all got a lot of stuff. You've got a good deal going, and I've never seen, and I'm sure you have, turned down any kind of entertainment district permit. Terry can answer me. Do y'all turn them down much?
Pardon me?
Do you turn down many?
No, we're not.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But anyway, I don't think it's good for the city, and you've got people there. I mean, when you can already give people a permit for the entertainment district, why make it permanent for several days or nights year-round? Anyway, that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Lila Allison.
Lila Allison. I have a property here in town. I also have a property outside of town and a business here in town. And when I came down the stairs this evening, there was this beautiful visitor's guide for Northwest Arkansas. So while I was waiting, I had a minute to flip through it. I don't know how many of you have seen the ad for Eureka Springs on the very last page, but it appears to be people enjoying music in a bar. The tagline is, "Free to get carried away." Now, I know that you can look at that tagline in a lot of different ways, but I think for those of us that oppose this entertainment district, free to get carried away, for me, it automatically made me think of the fight that we're having about the entertainment district. The citizens turned down a permanent entertainment district on a ballot, and I don't really understand why we're having this conversation again. But I believe that if it needs to be decided, it should be decided by the voting public. We all pay our taxes here. We all live here. We should all have an equal vote. I do not believe that this should be decided by the city council. I think it should be decided by the citizens. And I think that we need to kind of maybe critique our advertising too. I don't think that we need to advertise to people it's okay to come here and get carried away with drinking. Thank you.
I'm Jack Moyer with Crescent and Basin Park and Loblolly Pines. I just wanted to come to update you on an exciting event, a big collaboration that's coming in town. The Eureka Springs Blues Party is a collaboration of Basin Park, the City Advertising and Promotion Commission, but it is intended to be a citywide event, and I think we have successfully accomplished that. We're going to have 13 stages this year, 30 plus shows. The budget for that event exceeds over $150,000. We're hoping to cover that to a net zero. You have major headliners coming with Eric Gallis, a Grammy Award winner, on Thursday, Orianthi and Ali Venable, Carolyn Wonderland, Dumpsta Funk, and I wanted to, especially on this local format, share that we're also going to do a really fantastic celebration of the Cape Brothers this year. Earl and Ernie are up there in years, not playing now. But we are going to have family and friends play a tribute to Earl and Ernie, and we've invited their family and friends and that's on the Saturday night stage. I also want to recognize the hard work of the people in the CAPC office. You hear positives and negatives all the time, but there's a couple of folks there that really are working really, really hard. Caitlin Jarrell, Danielle Harris, Jana. These are folks that day in and day out are busting it for our community, and I want to especially appreciate them. Finally, I want to share with you, and Mike's there, so I hope he doesn't care that I share some of his thunder, but we have put together a Basin Park Summer Concert Series. It's family-based, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in all of the June and July dates. So you're going to see live music in and around the district. And as many of you know, live music generates travel. Travel brings occupancy. Occupancy brings people to shop in the towns and eat in the restaurants. It is a key element to drive economic development for our community. Finally, I just want to encourage the community to engage in the Eureka Springs Blues Party. It's a real occupancy opportunity to do what we all that have been here for forever in this town, Butch, you and I remember, but you remember that the 10-day period from Memorial Day through Blues Party was typically the best occupancy period of the year. And that momentum is happening again. And I really encourage all of our partner businesses to join in, help promote Blues Party, and we'll bring another 5,000 people to town. So many thanks to all of you. And that's what I had to say today.
Is there anyone who did not sign up for public comments that would like the opportunity to speak? I will now turn it over to the Madam Clerk.
I have 4 public comments. The first, my name is Jackie Wolven, and I serve as the Executive Director of Main Street Eureka Springs. Main Street Eureka Springs is not taking a position on whether the permanent entertainment district should or should not move forward. Our role is to support a process that is transparent, well understood, and inclusive of community voice. This is a significant and long-term change for our downtown. Decisions of this scale benefit from broad public participation, clear information, and time for the community to understand both the opportunities and the impacts. Over the past few weeks, we've seen an increase in residents and business owners engaging in the process, asking thoughtful questions about operations, public safety, infrastructure, and economic impact. The level of engagement is important and should be part of how this decision is shaped. We respectfully encourage the Council to consider placing this issue on the November ballot, allowing the residents of Eureka Springs the opportunity to vote on a change of this scale. Our goal is to support a process that builds trust and reflects the community as a whole. Thank you for your time and your service. The second, pardon me, is from Lex Lancaster. There are many questions that I have heard and questions I also have regarding the proposal for a permanent entertainment district. Unfortunately, many of my emails and questions have gone unanswered. This proposal is a big decision, and even if it goes to a public ballot, I believe there are many elements that should be discussed and analyzed by those voting. Specifically, what is the goal of the PED and how will this be measured? If the intention is to increase revenue, how and who will this additional revenue come from? If revenue is increased, how will these funds be allocated? Who will be responsible for paying for the associated cost of a PED, including additional police, wristbands, and designated cups, enforcement of the PED rules, additional trash pickup, restroom use, and other unexpected expenses? How do those associated costs compare to anticipated revenue from a permanent entertainment district? How might parking, driving, and pedestrian traffic be impacted? What do the results of a PED look like in towns like ours? A true comparison with case study examples in towns that resemble Eureka Springs is needed. Towns with similar infrastructure, regulations, funding, population size, and tourism. How are tourism behaviors and tourist data being collected and analyzed in this conversation? What do tourists prioritize and want more of? And how can Eureka Springs better meet those needs? I would love to see opportunities for research and discussion groups open to residents and business owners, where critical conversations and thoughtful dialogue can identify the best possible scenarios for the future of Eureka Springs. The third is from Samantha Webb. My name is Samantha Webb, and I was ESH's medical records clerk from February 2023 to September 2023, when I was wrongfully terminated. The interim chief financial officer of Eureka Springs Hospital said he is not yet confident in the hospital's financial reporting after audit adjustments revealed a swing of more than $1.2 million from previously reported numbers. At the Eureka Springs Hospital Commission's regular meeting on Monday, April 20th, interim CFO Doug Hoban gave an update on his research into hospital finances over the past couple of years and said he's still not comfortable sharing current numbers until there is a better grasp of what has happened in the past. Eureka Springs Time Echo article by Rick Harvey, 4/23/26. Rochelle Moyer, pardon me, Rochelle Moyer, you called that 1.2 million. You researched, you did a lot of digging. You helped to shed light. I hope you won't give up on that. We all hope you won't give up. What makes you think that since you found all of this regarding the money, that nothing over here, where all of us are concerned, didn't happen too? Especially after listening to each and every one of us, after letters were sent to and ignored by the mayor. Why is that not being acknowledged? Why is Jody Edmondson still an employee of Eureka Springs Hospital? Why is the hospital commission distancing themselves? Why are questions still not being answered? There were ... in between that. Where is the integrity? How quickly people forget, how quickly they choose to turn a blind eye. There has got to be accountability. The next one, I'm sorry, I thought I had 4, I have 5. The next is from Richard Webb. Hello, my name is Richard Webb III. I'm a former employee of Eureka Springs Hospital. You guys are a piece of work. After all, you have seen and heard from former employees, all you care about is the money. What about the people that were wronged and had to suffer? Because we have city so-called leaders that choose themselves over the people they're supposed to be looking out for. I had to watch my wife walk down the steps of Eureka Springs Hospital crying because she just got fired for something she didn't do, and she beat them, not once, but twice. You guys have had every chance to do the right thing, but you still choose to ignore my wife and I and all the other good people that were affected by what went on there. We will not stop until it is addressed. We are people, not bugs to be swept under the rug. You guys have raised that need to be answered, and now, how can you all take oaths to uphold the law and then sit around and watch all this and then be done for now? My wife and I will never go away until it is addressed, not just for us, but all the good people that were hurt by these people, even though you may think, pardon me, you're special and above us all. Let my wife and I remind you, you have a choice to make. You have a path to take, and you have decisions that you have to make. We will not stop until it is all focused on, not just the money, but the people that were wronged. Hey, Mr. Barry, can you let Ms. Dix, Mr. Turner, and all your friends know that the Eureka storm of politics hasn't even begun yet? You guys don't get to get away with this. Sorry, but not this time. Remember, there's always someone watching you, and you can be on top today and working at Pizza Hut tomorrow. And finally, from Heather Wilson. Members of City Council, I regret that I am unable to attend tonight's meeting due to prior commitment in Fayetteville, and I appreciate the opportunity to submit my comments in writing regarding the proposal to establish a permanent entertainment district in Eureka Springs. At the outset, I want to state that I am not wholly opposed to the concept. However, I do believe that this proposal, as it currently stands, requires additional research, legal clarity, and more importantly, broader public participation before any final decision is made. Under Arkansas law, municipalities have the authority to designate entertainment districts and establish parameters for public consumption of alcoholic beverages. I'm so sorry. At the same time, Arkansas law also provides mechanisms for citizen participation in municipal decision-making, including the ability to refer measures to the ballot through initiative and referendum process. Those provisions exist to ensure that decisions with broad community impact are subject to appropriate public input. Given the scope and permanence of this proposal, I respectfully submit this is not a decision that should be made solely by a vote of 6 individuals without comprehensive data, legal guidance, and an opportunity for the full community to participate in the democratic process. Several key areas require further clarification. Number 1, legal and liability considerations. What is the formal legal opinion regarding municipal liability in a permanent entertainment district, particularly in a city like Eureka Springs, where sidewalks, stairs, and pedestrian infrastructure vary significantly in condition and grade? Comparisons to other municipalities are not directly equivalent. Many of the cited cities maintain responsibilities for sidewalks and pedestrian infrastructure that are materially different from Eureka Springs' steep terrain and historic staircases. A clear legal analysis specific to our city is necessary, period. Number 2, infrastructure and public safety. What plans are in place to address lighting conditions, particularly during seasonal time changes, safe navigation of steep and aging staircases, including the rainbow stairs and similar pedestrian routes, access to restrooms, designated driver or alternate transportation programs? Has a formal safety study been conducted that reflects the unique topography and infrastructure of Eureka Springs? Number 3, business impact and respect for non-participating establishments. How will the rights and preferences of businesses that choose not to participate be respected and enforced? What mechanisms ensure that public alcohol consumption does not negatively impact storefronts, entrances, or other customer experiences for those businesses? Number 4, insurance and financial impact. What data has been collected regarding insurance costs for businesses operating within permanent entertainment districts, particularly in municipalities where the city does not...
Madam Clerk, that is 3 minutes.
Thank you. That's all.
All right. That concludes the public comments for this evening. That begins our unfinished business with first up is a water and sewer and street update with Public Works Director. Get a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. So I've got quite a bit to cover today. Try to make it quick. So I'm going to start off with our wastewater update. So our wastewater treatment plant is operating properly. I met with Performance Services for a quote on the water wastewater infrastructure assessment. Really the first phase of that project is really figuring out what we have underground using possibly ground penetrating radar. I'm waiting a quote on what those services would cost. We've been working on the sludge processing operations still to make them more efficient and effective. At the last council meeting, I stated that we were processing at a rate of 75 gallons per minute. Today, we're up to 90 gallons per minute, so we're doing considerably better than the 30-something we were a few weeks ago. I currently have Eugene Darby out surveying our sewer system, and I'm inputting that updated information to our GIS system. I'm also going through the old plan sheets and putting in different things in there that I'm finding in plan sheets from years gone by. And we had Economic Plumbing replace the sewer service connection on Washington Street. So that's all I have for the wastewater side. Do you have any questions? Yeah. So for water...
Oops, Simon, Rochelle?
Yeah, I wondered if you could talk a little bit about the plan that you're working on for the year. Do you have like an overall plan for your department that you're working on?
Has
Prioritizing priorities.
this got to do with the sewer, wastewater? Okay.
I haven't really
Any-
started working on a plan for next year. I mean, I will start that pretty soon because of the budget season, but it's not.
I'm talking about this year. Do you have like a prioritized list of things?
No, because we're kind of dealing in a maintenance situation right now where we're having to fix so many issues. I could create some arbitrary list if you'd like, but it really wouldn't amount to much.
I'm not really into arbitrary things. but
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have some scientific data and the funds that I know I could achieve a goal, I don't have any issues attacking that goal. But right now, we're more in a maintenance situation of trying to keep up with leaks and sewer issues and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How are things looking with the McClellan project?
So I had a site visit with them out there a few weeks ago. We went over some plans for the grit removal system that they're proposing and the location of that. And we also reviewed some of the repairs that we've already made that were part of that $6 million contract that we'll be cutting out of that contract because I've already done them. So they're updating that information right now, and it should be going out to bid any day now.
Oh, that's what I was just going to ask, if we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel for when we can actually see production on the ground.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them in this next council meeting. I'll have more information on that if that's all right. And see if I can't give you guys a better hard line on that date when that thing will officially go out to bid. Hopefully it'll happen before the next council meeting, but I'll make sure and let you know.
Okay.
Anybody else? No? All right. For the street department, as always, we perform pothole repairs around the city, removed some dead trees out at Music Park, and continued with the cleanup of the hillside. I have hired a contractor to grade our gravel roads. That should be happening any day now. Spring's cleanup was successful and it's been completed, and we had a total of 59 addresses that participated. So as far as that goes, do we have any questions?
Did you talk about the water
The water line replacement.
and water leaks or?
So I skipped it. I didn't even do the water side yet.
Well, we weren't going to let you get away with it.
Oh, my.
It's okay.
All right. A little stage fright, anxiety. I don't know. I'm just a person like
It's that
everybody else.
injury.
So
Tree
as far
cutting?
yeah, thank you for reminding me, Mayor. So on our water side, we hired Diamond Sea Construction out of Northwest Arkansas to replace 100 feet of the 6-inch water main at 101 East Van Buren. They completed that replacement in one night. They did an amazing job out there. What took us the next couple days was getting the concrete placed and getting the asphalt put up there. And we opened that back up, I think, by lunchtime on Thursday. I was actually up here for that. So, and then we repaired a water main leak over at 196 East Van Buren that at last council meeting I told you guys we were trying to find. So that's been located and fixed. So any questions about water? No?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that the 2-inch lines, you didn't have shutoffs for.
Yeah.
But then when you're doing the repair up there at the Comfort Inn, I know the water was shut off.
Yeah, we shut off that 8-inch main there. There's an 8 or a 10-inch main that is right there.
Does that feed the 2-inch, or it wasn't the 2-inch that was leaking?
No, they ended up finding it was the main, the 8 or 10-inch, whatever is there, that was leaking. It was cracked all the way through.
So it wasn't the 2-inch?
No, it ended up not being the 2-inch. It was the big line. Yep. So that's kind of funny that you brought that up. So one of the things I was doing today was I was going through some plan sheets of a water sewer line replacement project that happened back in, best I could guess is 2002. And going down Main Street, and you can see the 2-inch line running down Main Street where they said they abandoned that with that new main, but I haven't found anything from Van Buren yet. I'm still looking. So, Any other water-related questions? No? All right, so in other news, we do have a vacant position at the wastewater treatment plant, and I would like to express my sincere thank you to the Eureka Springs Hospital. So last week I had an accident and ended up having to go to the emergency room at Eureka Springs Hospital, and I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank each of you for the care, the kindness, the professionalism you showed during my time in the hospital. Your dedication to help others was evident in every interaction, and it made a meaningful difference to me. From the medical team to the nurses, support staff, and everybody working behind the scenes, I truly appreciate the compassion and hard work you bring to your roles every day. Being in a hospital can be stressful, but your warmth, patience, and attention help make my experience easier. Please know that your efforts do not go unnoticed. I am deeply grateful for the excellent care I received and for the positive impact you've had on me during my difficult time. Thank you all for what you do, for your patients and community. And then for Public Works staff, thank you. I think they deserve a thank you too. I was out all week last week, so I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the Public Works staff and also the city staff for your support and dedication during my emergency absence. Knowing that such important responsibilities were in capable hands brought a sense of relief to me during a difficult time. Your professionalism, teamwork, and willingness to step up ensured that operations continued smoothly. I truly appreciate the extra effort and commitment each of you showed. Thank you, and there's too many names to mention, but I wrote a few down here. Tammy, Angel, Bill for taking all the calls. We got a lot of calls over the street, the lane closure on 62. Sean and the team, they worked a lot of hours trying to get that water line replaced. And thank everybody for their dependability and service. I'm very grateful to have a strong team to rely on. So that's all I have. Thank you.
We're glad you weren't hurt real bad.
Real bad. It could have been real bad. Thank you for our hats.
Thanks, Simon. All right, that brings us up to unfinished business on the ordinance for levy of 1% sales tax.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right. In your packet, we have a updated ordinance that we've read for the first time, I believe. And in that updated ordinance, we've filled in some blanks. And through there, Michael, you want to come up? And because I'm going to miss something, I bet. I think one of the things we did do that we had to do for the ordinance was split the, I don't know if that's in the ordinance.
Yeah. It's in ordinance number 3. So one of the things that we're required to do to put into the ordinance officially before we go to the second reading is we worked with Cheryl Schuterman from Raymond James on the amount of the bonds that we would be able to issue based upon our sales tax at the end of March. That would be around $18 million, a little over $18 million. So she went ahead and rounded that up to a maximum of $20 million because by the time we pass all of this, it'll be based upon what our sales tax is and what our interest is. So you round it up a little bit higher so that if our sales tax skyrockets or something, we can afford a little bit more bond, or if the interest rates go down, we can afford a little bit more. So she rounded it up to 20 million. What we looked at, we met with Simon and talked to him about projects that he has coming up, projects in the water, the roundabout, additional water lines. So at that point, we kind of figured that the 50-50 would be the 10%, 10 million apiece for water and 10 million for water sewer. The reason why we have to do that is one dictation of this bond is that if we set aside 10 million for water and 10 million for water sewer, we can't use 16 and 4 or 12 and 8. It has to be 10 and 10. So if you set aside 10 for water and you only need 6, then there's 4 million you're not going to be able to look at. But we have seen that we have well over $10 million in either department that it can be used for. So that's where we come up with the 50-50 split on it.
Makes sense.
One thing I did want to bring up again is, David, you had asked in the last meeting in the title of the ordinance, it says issue to finance and refinance. What the refinancing is we take out the bond, and should we be able to refinance it at some point during that term to like lower the interest rate, if interest rate dropped or something like that, then that gives us the ability to refinance the bond. It's probably not going to happen, but they just want to put it in there for, he said, what Michael Moyer said was that, you just stick it in there in case it happens, and if it doesn't hurt anything, but if we get the opportunity, it's not in there, then it'll hurt us.
So first, thank you for looking into that. My question is going to be a question, I guess, for Heather. Based on what he just said, issued to finance and refinance capital improvements, but you just explained it that if we need to refinance the bond, not a capital improvement.
Well, it's your bond is for capital improvements, so that's why Michael said it was in there for, the bond guy said it was in there for capital improvements, because the original bond would be for capital improvements, and so what you're refinancing is, in essence, the capital improvements, because you're refinancing the bond that paid for those.
Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, Michael, you still got 2 more ordinances.
I thought that covered them all.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think I want to go ahead and make a motion that we assign,
And suspend the rules.
we suspend the rule and read ordinance number 2384 for its second reading by title only.
All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. McClung made the motion to approve ordinance number 2384 by title only, suspend the rules and read by title only. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Appenzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2384, an ordinance providing for the levy of a 1% sales and use tax within the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas for a period of 20 years to pay and secure the repayment of bonds issued to finance and refinance capital improvements, and B, for water and sewer purposes and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we approve ordinance number 2384 on its second reading.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion to approve ordinance 2384 on the second reading. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Appenzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
Okay.
If I may, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2385 for its second reading by title only.
Second.
All right. Mr. McClung made the motion to suspend the rules and read ordinance 2385 by title only. Ms. Moyer seconded.
Ms. Gruning?
No, Ms. Gruning, I'm sorry. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Appenzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2385, an ordinance calling a special election in the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas on the question of levying a 1% sales and use tax for a period of 20 years, A, to pay and secure the repayment of bonds issued to finance and refinance capital improvements, and B, for water and sewer purposes and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we approve ordinance number 2385 on its second reading.
Second.
All right. Mr. McClung made the motion to approve ordinance 2385 on the second reading. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Mayor, if I may, that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2386 by title only for its second reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. McClung made the motion to suspend the rules and read 2386 on second reading, and Ms. Gruning second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2386, an ordinance calling a special election in the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas on the question of issuing bonds under Amendment number 62 to the Constitution of the state of Arkansas for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of capital improvements, pardon me, and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto. I'm through.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2386 on its second reading.
Second.
And Mr. McClung made a motion to approve ordinance 2386 on the second reading. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. McClung?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
And Madam Clerk, are these published on our website before they get,
They are not.
okay. We might want to go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and publish this, because since we're not reading it and it's total, so the public can read it before we do the third reading.
Yeah, the third reading will be next meeting.
Next meeting, yeah. And that way the public, if they're interested, they can read through these three ordinances. So, all right. That brings us up to new business number 2, food truck lottery.
Motion to discuss.
Okay. Get a second?
Second.
Yeah, I have that somewhere.
I know you do. It's right there.
In your packets, council, there's a spreadsheet of the individuals who applied for the food truck lottery permits. There were 6 applicants, and all of those applicants have received permits. Travis Holloway on 64 Center Street, which is in Sector B. Sector C is Kings Highway from Highway 62 to Eugenia Street, and the community center has applied there, and they have been granted. And then Mark Hicks, Sylvester Tapia, Donna Cox from Listick, and Nikki Griffith with their addresses at 3185 East Van Buren, 4087 East Van Buren, 580 West Van Buren, and 2100 East Van Buren, respectively. All have received permits. There are still four open seats in our sectors for anyone else who is interested in food truck placements. So, and a word to the public, food truck lottery is supposed to take place in December of every year, and that did not happen in December of 2025, and so we're about 3.5 months late in getting this completed. So our apologies to the public for that inconvenience. That's it.
All right, thank you.
I have a quick question. Sorry. Gosh, 2100 East Van Buren, I thought that business sold. They're not the owners of the property, is what I understand.
Are you talking about the Griffiths?
Yes.
I don't know about that, David. They presented themselves as the owners of that property when they applied, which was Thursday of last week.
What is the business there? Or
It's Highway 62 Antiques and Collectibles. I thought they had sold that business.
I don't know.
So I guess I'm curious,
The property has a food truck on it, and it
yeah, I know that,
has a
it's
permit.
Disco's. But I'm just curious, can a non-property owner ask for a food truck permit?
I don't know what code says about that.
What was the question?
Okay, so the land that Disco's food truck sits on, from what I know, was sold to a new owner, not the Griffiths. So my question is, can a non-property owner ask for a food truck permit for property they don't own?
The Griffiths applied on Thursday of this last week, and they listed themselves as the property owners. So I don't know that we can question what they put in writing.
What was the business?
That's where the Disco food truck is.
It's called
No, they
Eureka.
didn't sell that.
It's called Eureka Uniques, Antiques, and
sell that.
Collectibles.
Yeah, it's the one there, the old Focker's place, the old.
Yeah.
No, it's
I was under the impression that it sold. That's
no,
why.
they sold the one they had out at Eastgate.
Yeah, I need that one as well.
Yeah, that one did sell. The other is, it hasn't shown up as sold.
Just needed clarification.
Ms. Green?
So I see that you said that there's 4 openings. What is the one that is under Sector A, from Highway 62? Just because I'm trying to figure this out.
Sector A is Main Street.
Correct. So
From
would that-
Highway 62 to the north city limit.
So there's 1 available there, and then the 4 down in D. Is that what you're saying?
There are 8 available in D, 4 have been spoken for, so there are 4 available in Sector D.
Okay, under D. And then Eureka Springs Park with Eureka Springs, what's ESPRC permission?
That's written into the original legislation that they can have food trucks.
Can you just tell me what that means?
That the parks can have food trucks in the park
When they have
with their permission,
like
with parks
4th of July
permission.
or whatever.
Leatherwood.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I just didn't know what ESPRC, Eureka Springs Parks and
Recreation Commission.
And then under F, the special event permitted under 4.56 in municipal code. I have not looked that up.
What are you asking, Suzanne?
So what I'm asking is, under special events, like at New Year's, we had one where we wanted 2 food trucks.
That was not under special events. That was a separate resolution establishing food trucks for New Year's Eve.
So what would be a special event?
The special event permit includes a food truck provision, and that was done in 2019 so that large festivals could bring food trucks into town.
Like the New Year's Eve?
Sure, or Zombie, or any of the, yeah, they all have that provision. It's just stating what code says.
I was just asking for clarification, Kim. Sorry. Terry has a question.
No, I don't have a question. I think isn't that what we did this last weekend with Steampipe?
Yeah.
They wanted food trucks, and I think
Yeah.
that was exactly what that fell under. So,
All right.
there you have it.
Any further questions? All right. That brings us up to, speaking of entertainment districts, new business number 3, Blues Fest Temporary Entertainment District.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right. Mr. Maloney, you are the applicant.
I'm your guy for the moment.
Anybody, Mr. McClung?
The application is pretty plain. It's complete. Everyone signed off on it. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we approve this temporary entertainment district. Excuse me.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the Blues Fest Temporary Entertainment District signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, so approved, so moved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah. All right.
Wait, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we have to sign, if we have a resolution, we need to,
Oh, we do have, yes.
yeah.
I don't,
So
there's
I
no
need to,
resolution. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
we need to suspend the rules, sign this resolution, a number, and read it by title only for approval.
Second.
All right. Any further comments, questions? All right, roll call.
Mr. McClellan?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Appenzino?
Yes.
Mr. Holyfield?
Yes.
Ms. Gruning?
Yes.
This is resolution number 908, a resolution to authorize a temporary entertainment district and establishing standards for its operation for Eureka Springs Blues Fest Party.
What was that number again?
908.
Thank you. I didn't have that on the front, so thank you for reminding me of that. I knew there was something missing. All right, that brings us up to our next item. And new business is a interlocal agreement with Carroll County Solid Waste Management. And Roger Miner is here, who's the new director of the Carroll County Solid Waste, who can explain what we're doing here.
All right.
Get a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Miner.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my first time before this council, and I appreciate the opportunity. I have two roles. Back in November, your mayor and the other mayors in Carroll County and the county judge all voted as district board members to hire me to take stock of all the contracts that existed within the county for trash service. And it had been, in almost every case, quite a long time since anybody had gone through them, reviewed them, and also reviewed the practices and the actual events that were going on in every community, so that we could get a body of agreements that, number one, met the state law requirements for interlocal agreements between units of local government, but also took stock of what was actually going on in each jurisdiction so that the agreements could conform and reflect actual practices. So that's what we've done. The agreement that you have before you is the result of quite a bit of research into the old agreements first, and also the current practices that are going on in order to render the service that you have in Eureka Springs right now. We did, for the ease of consultation, format these agreements in the same way. Everyone kind of looks the same in terms of the way they're structured, the table of contents on the front. So finding things in the agreement should be pretty easy for everybody. But each jurisdiction has aspects to the service that are unique to it, and those have grown up over the years. So the reason they hired me, I think, is because I've done contracts for them before, but also because my background in this particular instance goes back to the early 90s, when Eureka Springs was the very first community in our region to adopt a pay-as-you-throw trash program and to get serious about recycling and trying to drive as much recycling and waste reduction as they could. Back then, in the early 90s, they recognized that located where we are, with no landfills near and no hope of getting one near us because of our topography and our karst character of our geography, we were going to have to do everything we could to come up with a program that would minimize waste and that would discourage a whole lot of waste. So the city adopted the first pay-as-you-throw type program in the state, and through some grants with EPA that were the order of the day, established the Recycling Processing Center, and it's gone great guns ever since then. So that was the germ of all of this. I was around for that and enjoyed having a role in it at the beginning of that, and I've been absent for a while. But over all of these years since then, the service has remained. It's worked well, and I think one of the things that is a major difference between your old contract and the new ones, in the old contract, there was quite an elaborate process for a citizens task force that was permanent, that would exist, and that grew out of the city's first attempt to contract a single party for trash and recycling services. That first attempt was with a private contractor that was really pretty controversial, and there was a lot of meetings, a lot of complaints. Ultimately, that contract ended early, but the need for a citizens committee with representatives from every sector of the community was apparent. They worked through all of those difficulties, and in the middle of that contract that was abandoned, there had grown up quite an important group of people to support more environmentally friendly ways to get the service done. That turned into the first Carroll County Solid Waste Authority, which is a legislative design for a sanitation district. And the Solid Waste Authority was born, and they were immediately engaged by the city of Eureka Springs to be the alternative to provide service. And then from that event, the Solid Waste Authority grew and maintained got contracts with the rest of the cities in the county, and eventually turned into a solid waste district, which is what we are now, and started providing service countywide with contracts with every city. So that's kind of the history of what's going on. This particular interlocal agreement is between two units of local government, the Carroll County Solid Waste Management District and the city of Eureka Springs, and we really worked hard in the terms of this agreement to describe precisely the range of services that the city gets and wants, and to set out the existing rates that you have already in place as the exhibits on the agreement. It also provides a real flexible mechanism for you, with your representation on our board directly, to amend the contract as you see fit, as you see needs change, so that it is a flexible document. And as you go through your normal course of business, you interact with your business and community citizens, your residential citizens. If you hear of things that need to change, differences that need to be made in the service or the range of services, then you are in a position to make those changes and have them done because you have a representative on the board. So anyway, that is the nature of the agreement. It brings us up to speed with what's actually going on now. And I'll just try to answer questions if you have any. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's very thorough, and there's a lot for us to look at in here just to really understand it. But for the citizens and the business community, rates have not changed.
They have not.
They have not changed. Pickup time, scheduling has not changed.
No.
So it's business as usual.
That's right. We really took care to understand what's going on, what services are extended, what the routes are, what the rates are, and we wrote them into the contract exactly as they exist today.
Are we needing to do something for you?
We need to approve, yes, so I can sign the agreement.
Okay.
One quick question, sorry. Terry asked about residential rates.
Well, I was finishing up his question, was whether or not we need to do something. The question is, yes, you need to approve this so I can sign it. So just as long as the council understands that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that, well, I want to ask, have rates changed for commercial customers?
No,
Okay,
no.
so no changes for
No change.
residents or commercial?
No, sir.
Perfect.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the new interlocal agreement for recycling.
Second.
Solid waste.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion to approve the interlocal agreement with Carroll County Solid Waste and City of Eureka Springs. Mr. McClung made the motion and Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any further questions or comments?
I have a question.
Sure.
So you mentioned one of the changes being the citizen task force.
Yes,
Okay, can you talk a little bit more about that
you bet.
shift?
It's a unusual circumstance, but one of the things we're real proud of is that back in about 2000, 1998 was the first contract that the district had with the city. And like I say, that was on the heels of a not so successful first try at contracting. And so by 2008, the task force had just stopped meeting. That ordinarily you'd say that's bad, but really it wasn't. And the reason is because when the Solid Waste Authority was approached by the city to take over service, it really was a primary mission of that new group to have a real intimate relationship with its customers. When we designed the new service, we literally went to every single business in the community and profiled the service they needed. Matter of fact, in the Public Works archives, there's a big document that we developed where we went and interviewed every business and profiled the service they needed, changes they needed, this and that, and really delivered a very tailored type of new contract and new service. And so our pledge was to take a big portion of the budget that was generated by your rates and spend it on customer service. So we had people that were full-time devoted to go through, keep communication going with the businesses, and our big goal was not to have any complaint about service survive. We just didn't want any of that, and neither did the city. They were worn out with that kind of thing. So it's been successful. The original need for the task force kind of went away because when a customer was unhappy or something wasn't right, they would come to our customer service people, and we really took it seriously. And ever since, that culture has survived where the customer is right. We do everything we can to solve the problem, and that goes to residential too. If there's missed stops, you can either identify why it wasn't your fault that you missed it, or you can just go pick up the trash. And that's what we do.
Great. So forgive me for interrupting. So just to be clear, the task force stopped meeting in 2008, and there's not been any action come from any sort of citizen group with regard to service?
The mayor's in a position here to talk about that because he's ground zero for.
And he's a representative on the board, correct?
Yeah.
For the city?
Yep, and he will tell you if the complaints survive very long. But I think this is still the case, is it not, Mayor, that when there's a problem, we usually take care of it pretty quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the answer to why the task force is not.
Okay. My second question would be if the attorneys had a chance to review this contract.
I haven't. I'm looking at it now, and the thing that pops out is the exclusive right provision. I don't think you can do that.
What's that?
The exclusive right provision, I think that needs to come out.
If you read the part about the district, it's quoting a different legislative authority than was, are you thinking about the recent Supreme Court case?
It actually quotes the same statute,
Okay.
86211.
That's the municipal authority, and that's not what we're relying on for exclusivity. We're relying on the other statute, which is the district authority, and it was not part of that decision.
Okay, I still think it needs to come out.
Okay.
Can we defer to the next meeting and have time to review the contract further?
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we defer the vote on this to review further.
That supersedes the other motion, so sure, if I can get a second.
Second.
He seconded. All right. All right, Ms. Moyer made a motion to defer this to the next meeting, and Ms. Greening seconded. Any comments on this? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Can I ask?
Roger, I think I'd like for you and get with our city attorney
You bet.
and kind of go over this.
I can give you my card in just a second, and maybe we can talk.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Ms. Moyer.
So what is the general terms of the contract, the duration?
5 years renewable for 5 years is what it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any questions before we move on? All right. Finance Director?
It's a question for you. Previously, we've had fuel surcharges put in because of the high gas rate. What do y'all see with the gas rates going up? Do you feel like those are going to come back or not?
Yeah, if you look in the contract, it allows for a set CPI according to the indexes, but it also says if there's unusual things like what's going on right now, we can come and ask for adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Minor.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. All right, our next item of business, and get a motion to discuss item number 5, 2024 legislative audit.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right. I think there's a couple of questions and comments, and Michael, you want to do your little...
Yeah. One thing I wanted to clear up that we talked about during the budget is I wanted to get some clarification on it, so I went back and looked at it. What they're talking about in here about the difference in accounting standards is you have GAAP accounting, and then you have accounting that we're required to use by the Arkansas State by code and by legislature. So what they're saying is not that they agree that we're doing it right. They're just saying that it's not completely by standard accounting principles because we're doing it the way the state is requiring us to do it, which is acceptable. And what the main thing they're talking about there is if they came in and did an audit of the entire city, they would include all of our accounts in there. They would include water. They would include everything, hospital, the whole 9 yards. But because of the way we're set up, according to Arkansas law, they exclude those. So when they say our overall financial picture, they're just talking about the things that they audited. So that's what they're talking about, is the difference in the accounting principles and what we have to do according to fill out Arkansas code. So.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Moyer?
So just to follow up for clarification, so basically we're just talking about the sort of regulatory basis versus the GAAP.
Yes.
And it impacts us substantively how? By using a regulatory basis accounting.
We are using it based upon the state, what the state has said, and this this audit does not include water and sewer. So even though those accounts are part of the city, if we just were going under standard accounting principles, they would audit all of the accounts, including water and sewer. But since the state takes those out as an enterprise fund, then we have to have a separate audit on that. So what they're saying is they're presenting a full picture of the city, excluding
these
those
pieces
pieces.
because they're
And so
audited
that's
separately.
what they're explaining, is that normally this is what we would do. Here's what the city has to do based on Arkansas code, and they list the codes in here, and what we're doing is right.
So the impact is just how it's reported, basically,
We're not including everything because the water's not in there.
because it's separately done.
Separate. It's a separate audit. So on the audit that they presented, we had a material weakness, which is the worst that you can have. And that material weakness was our audits for our single audits are not up to date. They got behind, prior to me, they got behind on the single audits and the water audits. And so we were trying to rapidly catch them up. We received a notification that if we didn't get the water up to date, we could lose turnback money. And so at that point, I kind of had to make a decision on what to focus on. So we focused on the water department, got them up to date so that we don't lose our turnback money. Now we're going after our single audit. We have 21 is in final review and should be to us, they're saying next week. Then they'll start on 22 and complete the rest of them. So since this has been noted before, it is noted on page 5 as our material weakness. The other weaknesses that are the other things that are reported were just that our bank reconciliations were not properly prepared, and that what they're saying there is they were 3 or 4 years behind on bank recs whenever I took over, and so we have had to catch up. And so we caught up, everything's fine. We just didn't get them what they considered in a timely manner. They want them done 30 days after the month closes. Since we've been playing so much catch up and we were still playing catch up, we didn't get them done within 30 days, but they are done. So that was our...
We're on target now.
Yeah, but that was just a supplemental finding. And then there were some findings for the Cemetery Commission. The rest of the commissions didn't have any findings. From Leg Audit that Leg Audit did. And that's it. It's a clean audit.
So when you're talking about the separation of duties with result to the finance director compliance, I know you were saying part of that is just because we have very small staff.
Right.
But do you have like procedures or policies in place to try to address that, or do you just say,
well, so what they kind of do is they come in and they tell us, we would really like for you to handle it like this. In a perfect world, here's what it would be. But because of your small staff, we understand this is how you kind of have to do it. So that's why it's not found as a finding in here. They come in and they say, oh, well, maybe you want to look at that. And then we go on. A good example of that is every year we have to discuss ambulance payments with them, because we have Gary and them have an outside agency that bills the ambulance payments, and then they, make their payments and everything, and then that company sends the payment to us. We don't have a way to audit those payments because of the HIPAA laws and all that stuff come into play, and we don't have clearance to do that. They want us to have more auditing of those payments, but there's no way for us to do it. They understand that there's no way for us to do that, but they still talk to us about it every year. So there are things like that they say, we know we're going to have to talk to you about this, but it never hits in a finding. It doesn't even hit supplemental. A lot of it's just in conversation that they have with me and the mayor. Okay. So they're always going to find little things that, we could probably do better, or if we had a bigger staff, we had more people, but we just don't have the people to do it, so.
Kind of related to that, and I know this is 2024, but I was kind of surprised to learn about the Cemetery Commission's compliance issues. That seemed pretty basic stuff, like providing documentation for purchases and nothing to support $4,000 worth of purchase. I mean, it's $4,000, but also I feel like at that level we should be asking for accountability. Do you know if the Cemetery Commission is in a similar position? Have they established policies to try to comply? Anybody know that?
So when they present their reports, they come out, they audit everybody, then they come, they visit with me, they then talk about what's in my department. We go in and we talk about the mayor's. Then they go individually to each one of the commissions and talk to them about their findings. We don't know what their findings are until this report actually came out, which came out last week. So we have not done anything as far as, talking to the cemetery yet to see what their answers to this is, because we just found out the same time y'all did.
So would that be something that city council would do, just, to ask? They may not be aware.
I mean, it's really between, it's an administrative, it's something that we need to address with the cemetery commission. And if there's a problem, then we'll come back to the council. But right now, it's strictly administrative.
With all due respect, it's a problem. It was reported on the 24 audit.
Sure.
Do we know if it's been addressed? That's my
Well,
question.
that's what Michael and I are just talking about. We just got the report the same time you did, and so we haven't had an opportunity yet to visit with the cemetery commission about this. So we don't know what the status is to be able to report back. Now, we will be able to report back, and we can have the cemetery commission come up and report to you at the next meeting, too, without a problem.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I'm not sure that they're even aware that.
They're aware of it because they met.
They met.
Michael,
I was giving them the benefit.
when they come in and they visit with us, they visit with each commission. So they're aware of the findings, the cemetery commission is. We don't know what the result is until we get the report. And we don't know what their response is from the cemetery commission yet, because we just found out about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going on record as saying they should.
Yeah, and we've actually asked, like, is there problems with the commissions or whatever, and they won't tell us until this comes out, because they have audited that person's financials and it's their commission's financials or whatever. And so we don't know how the others turn out until this actual report. So now we have the report, we can go back and talk to them and find out. I do know, just from talking to their treasurer, on their new treasurer, on other things, they were using a bookkeeping firm and they had some problems with them. And so now they have pulled it from that bookkeeping firm and are handling it more in-house. So that was just in conversation with their treasurer, but I don't have anything official. So,
Mr. McClung?
Do you have plans to start reviewing these things? I know you've got plenty to do, but it really falls under, I think, your purview.
yes,
because
yes, it does. And what we do, once we get these reports and we actually look at them, then we do, talk to them and find out what's going on. Have they corrected it? Because it's kind of like Rochelle is saying, this is 24, so we're into 26. It's kind of hard to find out, maybe these were one-time things or something like that, but we do try to get an explanation from them. And if we need to have them come, because we have in the past, if we've had a department that has had findings or whatever, we have had them come and answer for their audit, because basically that's what I'm doing now, is answering for my audit. And when you guys accept it, then it's approved. So it is, we can ask. So I'll find out from them and talk to them about it.
Yeah, I mean, because the alternative is, right, that someone spends funds and doesn't have to provide any documentation for that, and that just continues if nobody says anything. So I don't want to hog all the time, but I do have other questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looking at page 13 through 15, it talks a little bit about fund balance classifications and procedures. And so I was looking at that a little bit, and I'm curious if you think that this is something that needs to be developed. Do we need policy and procedure for fund classification based on what their findings were with the audit?
I mean, they didn't find any deficiencies in the way that we're handling it now. So I don't see that we would need to change anything. You know, a lot of this stuff is just them reviewing what they're going over and explaining what they were looking at. But I don't see anything in reading it that would rise to the level of changing our procedures or how we're handling things. They seem to be, you know, this isn't a very extensive audit. It's 3-4 months, 2 people here. They look at everything. And I think if they had an issue with the way we were handling things, I think they would have said something. So in my opinion, if it's not broke, don't. Yeah.
Can you explain to the council the hierarchy, you might say, of the findings, you know, the seriousness of, you know?
Yeah, your material weakness is your worst. Yeah, material weakness is your worst. Literally for those, if we have a repeated finding that is a material weakness, then depending on who it is, it's either usually me or the mayor who they find the finding for. We have to go to Little Rock and we have to testify in front of the legislature to, you know, explain our position. We had to do that once. I think it was my first year here. We had to go down there and explain about the water audits being off. So those are material weaknesses. Then you have what's called reportable findings. Those are ones that actually made it into the report, but they weren't huge. That's the monthly bank reconciliations. That's just a reportable finding. They're letting us know that we had a procedure, we were a little off on it, and you know, they want you guys to be aware of what I'm doing and what other commissions are doing. And then you have supplemental findings. Those are the suggestions. They're, you know, we need 2 signatures on this, or we need, you know, you want to handle it this way. They're little bitty things, but they have noticed them in the thing, but they're not rising to the level of bringing attention to them. So you have a little bit of each. Supplemental findings do not make it into the audit. Only reportable findings do, and your material weaknesses. So that's on, you know, page 6, I think 5 it is our reported material weakness, and then on the next page is the material weakness, and then on the next page is the reported findings. So we had 1 material weakness, which was the audits, and then we had 2 reportables, which was our monthly bank reconciliations, and then the cemetery's procedures, accounting procedures. So,
Ms. Moyer.
So, first of all, I want to say, when I asked that question, I was not meaning to suggest that they found anything wrong.
No.
Yeah. So, because I don't think that, I fully understand the levels of
Well, I just wanted the city, the public, because the questions are being asked, and so the public aren't always aware of the status, and some of the council may not be either.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I just want to be clear that I was not suggesting that, because sometimes people quote me again. So kind of back to this idea of fund balance classification, I'm going to share something with you. I was just kind of reading on it. My understanding is that this type of a policy ensures that there's prudent level of financial resources available in the event of some unforeseen circumstance or something that was some sort of temporary revenue shortfall that's unforeseeable. It's a way of protecting cities' credit worthiness and provides some stability, and it ties, like, for example, general funds to a percentage, like maybe, you know, anywhere from 20 to, the benchmark is 20 to 35%, to ensure that there's operating funds for, let's say, 3 months in the case of some situation. It also is a way that council can tie and can prioritize projects, right? So it basically just provides like a structural balance and kind of is put in place to remove political pressure when it comes to spending and budgeting. So I just printed this out. I'll share it with you. If it's something that you feel like would be helpful to have a workshop on with council so that we understand better what something like this could do and you feel like it's something that needs to be done. I'm just saying I would be happy to be part of those conversations and I would support that.
So one of the issues that you run into when you're a smaller city and organization like we are, when you start taking the funds that we have and start committing them and assigning them to certain things, you may, say, okay, well, we need $500,000 for the, we'll just pull the roundabout. So we need $500,000 for the roundabout. So then I pull out $500,000 and set it over here and commit it to the roundabout. Then the roundabout doesn't happen for 4 years. So that's kind of where you get into, that's why I'm not totally, I understand what you're saying. We don't want to go out and go, hey, I want this $5 million project and we only have $1,500 in the bank, but when you get to assigning those and pulling that money out and holding it separately, then you get into situations to where you may not need it for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, and you would have replenished it by then. So there's good points to doing that, so that like if you commit to a project and say, hey, we got to put $250,000 in, that we take $250,000 and set it over here in an account, so then when we get to there, we've got it. But then you're also, that's money that could have been working for you during that time. So it may be something that we look at something like if we have a project within 12 months, like say we get into a project that we say, okay, we know we're going to be shovel ready and we're going to go shovel down in December, maybe in July, we set that money aside or something like that at that point. When we get a little bit closer to the project. But we've seen these projects, they hit into engineering, they hit into getting past the state and all that kind of stuff, and it can tie our money up for a while. So that's kind of one of the reasons we haven't done that. There is some legitimacy to doing that. So it would just be, making our money work the best for us.
Yeah, I appreciate you actually using that as an example, because I think it's a great example of kind of overuse of that sort of a policy. Was thinking more in terms of structuring it to make sure that operating, there's a replenishment mechanism for keeping money available to continue operating a city in case something was to happen. But anyway, lots of details, but I appreciate that seeing that side of it.
On a high level, we kind of do that, and that's kind of our franchise fee fund. We put money into it continuously. Money rarely comes out of it, and that's our money for if something major happens and we need to get, a good block of money, that's where we would go to for that money. So we do have that in our mind. And we do take that into consideration when we're looking at budgets and we're looking at those kind of things, those projects and stuff. We just haven't formally committed, in an instance like where.
All right, this is a good conversation, great idea, but we're dealing with legislative audit. So I think there was a motion on the table, I don't know if there is or not, to approve this legislative audit.
I move that we approve the legislative audit.
Second.
Mr. Holyfield makes a motion to approve the 2024 legislative audit. Mr. McClung seconded. Any further comments on this? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. Thank you, Michael. All right, next item is item number 6, a hospital report. We have our chairperson, Willie Daniels, and our CEO, Ms. Tiffany Means.
Good evening.
Thank you, Willie.
We're handing out a couple of things. One is bullet points from what I'm sharing today to give you highlights of bucket areas of what we're working on as a visual, since I'm a visual. And then also in that packet is last month's bank statements. So I want to start at Mayor and Council. Before I begin, I want to say something very clearly. I'm here as a partner to this community, to this council, and to the commission. I did not step into this role to defend the past. I stepped into it to understand it, correct it, and move this hospital forward responsibly. I want to begin by acknowledging the council's fiduciary responsibility to this community. I share that responsibility fully, and I take it seriously. Since stepping into this role, we have identified long-standing system-level deficiencies across financial reporting, revenue cycle, and operational alignment. These did not develop overnight, and they will not be corrected overnight. However, they are now clearly identified and actively being addressed. I will walk through 3 areas today: what we can be responsibly report, what we have uncovered, and what we are doing to correct it. It is important to distinguish between financial data and fully validated financial statements. At this time, we are able to provide reliable information related to cash position, receipts, disbursements, and operational performance. What we are not yet able to provide are fully reconciled and certified financial statements due to the ongoing correction of legacy system and process issues. So under the Arkansas Code 14264-105, financial reporting flows through the hospital commission, and reports must be certified as correct before submission. Given prior financial reporting required significant audit adjustments, we will not present numbers that are not validated. This is not transparency, it is risk. So as of March 31st, the hospital maintains approximately $3.49 million in cash. Over the past 4 months, average monthly collections have been $403,000. Average monthly expenditures, $701,000. Operational gap of $298,000 per month. And I think we just talked about operational gap prior to me. So this reflects a hospital in active stabilization, not a finalized financial position, but a real-time operational snapshot while we correct underlying systems. So as we know, and I'm learning through FOIA, and I always am trying to reread all of this stuff, any existing records held by the hospital are subject to disclosure. However, FOIA does not require the creation of new documents, and it does not override the requirement that financial reports be accurate and certified before formal presentation. During this period of financial reconstruction, any information that's shared will be clearly identified as preliminary and subject to ongoing reconciliation. Our responsibility is to ensure that what is ultimately reported and certified is correct, supportable, and not misleading. With that stated, moving forward, we will provide bank statement balances to the Commission each month similar to what you're receiving today. So our key discoveries over the past 3.5 months, we have identified revenue cycle disruption, system configuration gaps, outdated charge master, financial reporting inconsistencies, provider credentialing failures impacting revenue. And these findings confirm that prior financial reporting does not fully reflect a reliable or validated financial position. So here we are at the action plan. Fix. Fix the revenue cycle, rebuild. Fix the claims and corrections and AR recovery. Oracle system corrections, provider credentialing rebuild, charge master and pricing alignment, and financial reconciliation, of which Doug just finished out 2024. So to build, the financial controls and validation, monthly reporting discipline, expense management and vendor review, external financial alignment, and governance reinforcement through the commission. How are we growing? We have a 501c3 Eureka Springs Hospital Health Foundation is established. Grant writing is initiated. We're preparing right now any day for the Arkansas Rural Health Transformation Program as it opens up. Expanding services, strategic partnerships. Ensuring provider information is correctly aligned with all payers to restore billing accuracy and reimbursement is something that we really need to be doing. We're actively negotiating with Oracle right now to correct system configuration issues as quickly as possible. We're working to resolve denied payments from a payer vendor since REH conversion, and that was as of December 2023. These actions are essential to restoring our revenue integrity and ensuring the hospital is paid appropriately for the care it is providing. So just to let you know, the timeline of engagement just in this last month, I have been engaged with financial requests that were received to me March 20th. April 3rd, I was with a meeting with Ms. Moyer and the mayor. I shared those documents that what we discussed at that meeting. April 9th, I responded to an email that was provided to me. And then on April 22nd, I followed up again with shared requests. But what I would like going forward is if any requests that are to be made, please go through the commission, as I do want to follow the rules and regulations of how they should be, and I don't want to lose that trust, and I want to keep everything aligned. So ongoing, I've been also reporting to Willie Daniels, the commissioner, on our finances with Doug on a biweekly basis. So something that's really important is the hospital itself is performing and serving this community. Did you know that approximately 66% of our patients seen at Eureka Springs Hospital are from our city and surrounding counties? That's from August 2025 till now. What does this mean? This hospital is a critical access point for care for the people who live here. As of today, we are up approximately 48% in patient volumes year to date. This community is relying on this hospital more than it has in recent years. In addition, we had 100% CMS validation. Our EMS volume is up over 100% year to year. We have strong patient satisfaction. We're expanding services and partnerships, of which I cannot wait to share more as soon as they become official. This hospital is actively serving and growing while we correct its financial system. So at the end of the day, this is about more than financial reports. It's about access to care for this community. It's about the patients who rely on this hospital every day. And it's about our shared responsibility to ensure that it remains here to serve them. My commitment is to lead with integrity, correct what needs to be corrected, and build a hospital that is stable and sustainable. That requires discipline. It requires accountability, and it requires partnership. I'm here to do that work, and I'm asking that we do it together, because this community deserves a hospital that is strong, not just today, but for the future.
Thank you. Questions?
I've been watching the commission meetings, and and I was concerned, like a lot of people was, without the lack of numbers. But also, I commend the commission and your new temporary CFO, gentleman back there, that reporting the numbers is important, but it's also important to report accurate numbers. And understand what you're going through, and not being able to report those numbers has to be frustrating, but also that's the way to do it. If you don't have the correct numbers, please don't just put a number out there to make everybody happy and stuff. Also, I was excited to hear about the helicopter program with that. Would you talk about that a little bit?
So we partnered with Survival Flight, and they will become our helicopter base behind the hospital. They are leasing space in the house that was the clinic, and the clinic is moving back over into the hospital where it originally was at. But when we met with Survival Flight, they were more than excited to partner on this journey. They did the calculations. We worked through the business justification. They went through all the demographics of the area, and they feel like they can serve this community very quickly, responsively, and what better places to have it here at our hospital. Just alone, we transferred just in the month of April 32 patients, and we are already exceeding our census this month. We're at Velvet 2 right now. Was it 217? Yeah, 215 as of yesterday. So we look at everything every day and go through all that. But anyway, going back to Survival Flight, they're going to be great partners with us. They're also going to do a lot of community involvement and education. So with that, I think it's going to be a strong enhancement for our community to serve in a timely manner.
So that helicopter sits there all the time until it's needed?
All the time, weather permitting. They have a hangar over at Berryville, so if the weather's bad, they fly over there, and then the jet fuel is over at Berryville as well. Yeah.
Great. I think that's a great asset to the community to have that helicopter there, sitting there waiting for somebody to be transferred. The fact that so many transfers require that says, well, the need says that we can utilize a whole helicopter just for our town is wonderful. Thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. Moyer?
It's really just a comment, actually, but I wanted to say, just the metrics that you've reported really demonstrates the important community need that you guys are meeting every day, and the fact that that continues to increase shows the growing trust in our community and what you're providing. I wanted to say that I very much appreciate all of the work that has gone into so far getting to this point, and I'm consistently encouraged and excited about the expansion of services that you have planned and that need that you're meeting every day. I think it's unfortunate that that our communications are so much about financials, because I agree with you. That's one part of your job, your operations, to take care of this community, and that's really important. And I think just being a member of this council, I just want to be a partner to you guys and to support, to make sure that financially that you guys are going to be here for the duration. And I can see that you're doing a tremendous and difficult job, and I appreciate the transparency and the respectful communication. Willie and I had a conversation, and it's refreshing, and no one would know that probably if I didn't say it publicly. So I just want to be on record as saying that the transparency, communication, effort, and respect is noticed and appreciated. So thank you.
Well, it takes a team. I am very grateful for Velvet, who has actually took the undertaking of making the clinic happen, remodeled that clinic in the back. That is phenomenal. It's all ready to go by Wednesday. And we'll hold first clinic over there on Friday within the hospital, which is really good. And they're even looking at expanding days, this clinic. So really good for us on that aspect. And then Doug, of course, we talk financials every day. He brings me numbers every day. I'm very grateful for his talent that is brought here to untangle a mess that I wouldn't have had a clue by myself to be able to do. So I really appreciate his willingness, and he works on the weekends too, but he knows that to be able to get where we need to go, he's still got to untangle the web. And we're getting there. It's just sometimes we're dependent on a software company to help get us to where we need to go. And, you know, I think we have a lot of hope here that we'll be able to see more as we go into second and third quarter. That's what we're hopeful for.
Right.
Mr. McClung?
That's my prayer, is just that we can weather the storm
Yes.
financially, that we don't lose the hospital.
Well, I think, again, I talk about partnerships. A hospital in this day and time is really challenged when they're on an island by themselves. And I think partnerships and how you work those partnerships and who those partners are in healthcare. We have lots of plans to go forward with those partnerships, and I think it will definitely help the hospital in those partnerships. I think that, you know, I just read last week in Becker's that there was a Missouri hospital, REH, that went bankrupt and they were closing the doors. And I think one of the things that we need to focus on is, you know, are we here to close the doors, or are we here to keep the doors open? And when you keep the doors open, that means you need to have action happening. It's a constant. So it gets harder and harder when reimbursements get less. And right now, we're just trying to make sure our reimbursements are just. And we haven't got to that point yet. So there's some reimbursements with some payers right now that are like 1%. And just for an example, it's because contracts haven't been negotiated at the hospital for some time. So that's just an example. Yes.
Mr. Amazino?
So, Tiffany, you and your team and Willie and your team have done a phenomenal job as far as our finances are, because this is stuff we didn't know for years. So, fantastic job. And I would be remiss without bringing this up, because we do hear about it every single meeting, is that human side of what happened at the hospital. With the termination of staff members and the way that they were terminated. I know we can't get into discussions about employees because of law. However, I want to know, or I want those people to know that you are doing something to hear them or listen to them. I don't know if there will ever be any resolution, but at least an attempt at something.
I think that that's a personnel issue that we can't really talk about at this time, and that will have to be vetted in a different way. But you know, moving forward, the culture is definitely different, and I think we're doing a more close-up view of how the coworkers are feeling about their place of employment. So if we can learn from the past, right, then we take that and say, how can we make it better for the future? And that's all I can say on that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hope?
I know, Ms. Means, you have a lot to do, and you have a lot to do in the future. But as one member of the council, I would love if you or a member of your staff, Willie or Doug or somebody, would at least come to once a month meeting and just give us an update on what the progress is as you work forward.
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Well, I think that's important. If there's no other comments, I'll throw in my 2 cents worth. Because I know you have a lot of plans, and when you talk about partnerships, there's a lot of exciting partnerships that are out there that you're dealing with. And I know you have a lot of balls in the air that you're juggling, not only with the financials and keeping the hospital financially stable, but going out and finding these new partnerships. And I'm excited, and I think the city is going to be such a beneficial from your work. And so I think, by us hearing on a monthly basis what's new, because you're changing things almost monthly up through there. And if anybody hasn't been up to your meetings or your open houses, they're missing something because they don't get to see what Violet has done up there. Velvet. I'm sorry. What Velvet has done and what y'all have done with that center up there. I mean, it's just remarkable. And of course, we know anybody who's been up there recently, including myself, seeing services, know that the services can't be beat. I mean, we're just very lucky to have y'all there. And I think that's something I think we're real proud of. So I don't think there's ever been any complaints about how valuable and the quality of the service that y'all have been providing and the staff.
Well, I think we owe it to the team. And one thing that we always do is purposeful rounding, just to make sure that when patients are present, that even leadership is doing rounding to make sure that patients are fine and everything is okay, and if there was anything that we can help and do. Lastly, like I mentioned in the commission meeting, our leases of our lab equipment are coming due. And it's just one of those things that we did an operation. Do we keep what we have, or do we try to get something else for less cost but better quality? And that's what we went to. And honestly, when I went to another entity and talked to them about the equipment that we're going to, and they said that's one of the best lab equipment that is out there right now, and this is going to really benefit Eureka Springs and able to perform lab testing that is safe and quality as well. So I think we're making good decisions, and we're also looking at them to make sure that they're justified operationally as well, just not going out to buy equipment, but we're making sure that we can afford that equipment.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you all, Willie and everybody, for coming down too. So, all right, that brings us up to agenda setting. Anything? All right, I'm sure we'll get some stuff in. City Council comments. Ms. McClung, I'm going to start over with you. Let you be the lead off.
Just one word. Serendipitous.
You like that word?
That's it.
What did you say?
I only say it once. I'm not repeating it.
Can you spell it?
You got it.
He's making fun of me, I think.
Oh, okay. Ms. Moyer?
Again, I just want to reiterate that I'm consistently reassured by the leadership of the hospital, the exceptional care delivered, the positive service expansion that's taking place under the leadership of Mr. Daniels and Ms. Means, and all those who support them. And I appreciate the commitment to provide regular, even if it's preliminary and non-certified, financial information as they can, to the extent that at such time as certified financial reporting can be provided. So I also want to say, I know just kind of going through the legislative audit, just reading through it blows my mind. So I just want to say how much I appreciate you, Michael, for all that you do every day. very technical stuff that you're navigating with the mayor's office, I'm sure, and your staff, but it could be a thankless job, I imagine, and I want to say that I see you and I appreciate you.
Mr. Lorenzino.
Yeah, I just, first of all, I want to thank both sides of the aisle regarding our permanent entertainment district discussion. We all listened to both sides, and I think it may be fair to say that none of us really here are neither for nor against it. We just want what's best for the city. Me personally, I think that what's best for the city is that for our citizens to be the one to decide on that issue. Second thing I want to talk about is our sales tax that we have had to vote on. It is unfortunate. No one really likes to raise our sales tax. Unfortunately, it's an absolute necessity for the continuation of city services, so I just hope that people realize that. And I also want to say I'm glad Simon's back. It was very close to, what I understand, losing his life, so I'm glad he's here and hanging on.
Mr. Holyfield.
I'd like to add my name to the long list of people saying goodbye to Bill Lott. He was a wonderful gentleman, a great asset to the Eureka Springs. He and I ran for this seat here 3 years ago or 3+ years ago, and he was a gentleman. We both ran a clean campaign. We didn't smear each other. I think we set an example of how to run a campaign, and he was easy to be friends with. We went to church together, and Christmas is not going to be the same without Mr. Ott, so it's going to be missed very much. One reason we do have another vacancy on CAPC is because Heather Wilson's resigned, and I'd like to thank Heather for her time and efforts. Any of our volunteers on our commissions, I hope they feel appreciated. They do give their time for free to step up and be a neighbor that wants to help out. She is working on her PhD. She's teaching classes at the University of Arkansas. And I think they're starting a new business. So thank you, Heather, for everything you did. And I think that's about it. The flowers are blooming. My peonies are looking great. Come by and look at them. And love this weather. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Gurney.
I think it's all been said, so I'm good.
All right. I want to, a lot's been said on Facebook and around the community about Bill Ott passing. I think it was a totally unexpected situation, but I think it's also, one of those things we just never know what happens or when it's going to go. But Bill was such a personality, and as Mr. Holyfield said, I've known Bill. I was on city council with Bill for one term, and I think Bill came back and was on council another term. And he loved Eureka Springs, and he loved service work. And Bill, with his exuberant personality and his multiple personalities, whether it was a Santa Claus or whatever, he was always in almost every parade, because I don't think he had a parade that Bill didn't like. And, he was Mr. Hospitality, and he certainly won the awards, got that for the state, Mr. Tourism, and he just also never met a person he didn't like. Never met him. Everybody was a friend to Bill, and he's going to be greatly missed. And I know I will miss him, and God bless Bill. As far as we got some other, a lot of activities going on. We're in the beginning of the May Fest. So we got the first May 1st, we have up at the Best Western of the Ozarks, the Ozark Escape. This is a rally, so evidently it starts Sunday, or Friday rather, May 1st, and goes through Sunday, May the 3rd. And then Eureka Springs Tour for Ghost. The tour begins at 7:15, and you meet at the front stairs of Mellon Light Theater at number 2 Pine Street. And that's Friday, May 1st. and from 7:15 to 8:15. And then one of our more fun parades is the Outrageous Parade, which is Saturday, May the 2nd at 2 p.m. And you'll be able to see all kinds of imaginative floats, and the Outrageous Parade is one of those best parades and most fun parades around. I think it's already been mentioned about the Basin Park Concert Series, which starts Sunday, May the 2nd with Welcome 96 Miles. And that begins at 3 p.m. to 4:30. So free live music in downtown Basin Springs. So it's a family-friendly event, but seating is limited, so bring your own chairs. Saturday, May the 2nd, we got the Crazy Canvas Quilt opening reception from 4 to 5 at the Eureka Springs Historical Museum. It's a tribute to the historic Crazy Quilt tradition of the Ozarks and a compliment to the Colorful May Festival of the Arts. Drumming in the Park, Saturday also, May the 2nd, 6 to 8. So bring a drum or just come on down and join the circle. And then on Sunday, the following day, from 5:30 to 7:30, it's Project Woofway up at the community center. So it's a time to bring your dog out for style, creativity, and fun, and a fashion contest for you and your pet. And then Saturday, May the 5th through the 9th, is the Eureka Springs Plein Air Art Show and sale. And that's going to be for 5 nights from 6 to 8. The Eureka Springs Museum will be showcasing the art from these plein air. So there'll be 50 new paintings of a different scene added each night. And we've got a couple of good concerts coming up this week. Little Feat, I should say this week, next week, Little Feat, which is their last farewell tour at the Odd, Tuesday, May the 5th at 7:30 to 9 o'clock. If you haven't got your tickets, you're almost too late. I think there may be a handful of single seats left, but that's going to be a great concert. We have the Tibetan Sand Mandala event coming back. And that will be up at the Eureka Springs Community Center May 6th through the 9th with a closing ceremony at 12:30 on Saturday, May the 9th. If you've never seen this, this is an incredible art that the Tibetan monks come over and do. They did this 5 years ago?
About every 5 years.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it is just amazing what they can do with sand. So if you've never seen one, it's really worth going up and seeing it. Ribbon cutting at Harmony Park, also known as Music Park, will be Wednesday, May the 6th from 5 to 7. So we got a newly unveiled, reimagined park down there. And going to have a new sculpture, so come on down and see what's going on down there. And then on the 7th, we've got Luke Nelson, which is Willie's son, live at the auditorium. And again, if you haven't got tickets, it's almost sold out. So again, there was a couple of seats left. So, but Luke has got his own career that stands out on his own. And then again, we got the Basin Park concert and Crescent City Combo on Saturday, May the 9th from 4 to 6. And then John Two Hawks' Emergence Release for Mother's Day concert, Sunday, May the 10th, 6 to 9 at the Inn of the Ozarks. And if you've never heard John plays flute, and it blends in the Native American flute and storytelling, it's quite a entertainer. And so that will be May the 10th, 6 to 8. And I'm sure there's a lot of other activities going on too. So
Cemetery tour Saturdays at 11. So
yeah. All right. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And stand up and leave.